Hey y'all, I wanted to share my worm bins today. Last year I started to raise my own worms. Number one was I wanted to raise them for fishing. Now, while we could go out back and gather up some worms, we'd have to do it, and it got to where it wasn't fun. We kind of actually depleted the area where our worms were. And then to go buy worms, number one, they're expensive. They're like $4 a container now for 20 little worms. Number two is the nearest place is about 30 minutes out of our way to go buy worms. So a friend gifted me 24 worms, and I have my older bin here and my newer bin here. I did get up last summer to about 100 worms, and then ants got into them. So I had to start all over from 10 worms. That's all I could find that survived. But they're doing great. I have about 300 now, I think. From last time I got the worm castings out, I sifted them. Now I'm going to show y'all the newer bed. As you can see, I don't use paper, or I don't use dirt, sorry. My bedding is paper and cardboard. And you can see there's a couple eggshells, cabbage leaf, potato skins. Let's see if we can find one of our worm friends up in here. Nope, there's one. Okay, worms eat anything that decays. There he is. They eat any decaying matter. It's what they do in nature, what they do in the woods. So as all this decays, even the cardboard, they eat it and they produce this lovely manure called worm castings. That's great for your garden. It looks like, I don't know what that is. I thought it was a cantaloupe rind, but something that's since gone too far. They'll eventually get it. Either that or just compost by itself up in here. See, this is a newer bed. Oh, there's one. Do you see it down in there? Right there. This one, like I said, they haven't produced too much yet. But like this worm bed's only like, I'm going to say about a month old. And then I only put 10 worms in here as well. So it's going to take a lot longer. Now this one is my main worm bed. As I move everything over, all this paper, you can see the nice, dark, rich worm castings that's up in there. Now this is the worm castings. That's what we're wanting to get. You have to sift them, but there's another piece that's composting too much. Not really composting too much, so this can't get to it. I have a habit of overfeeding my worms. See, my phone to focus. That dark, rich stuff, that's what we are after. And this, I mean, it took a while to produce. Look, there's a worm right there. Oh, there's 2 worms. I'm trying to see if I can get, I actually sifted this yesterday after I made my first video. I didn't really plan on, you don't touch them for like a week. They're normally all in one spot. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's the worms. You see there's plenty of them. And I'm trying to see if I can find a cocoon, an egg sac. As you can see also, we'll have, well, where'd he go? See the little thing? It attracts other bugs, but they're all great for composting. I really don't mind them up in there. The only thing I do try to deter, and once it gets warm out again, I will move my worm bins back inside. I know it sounds crazy, but it doesn't smell, and nobody even notices they're in there unless they open my shower curtain and like, oh, what are them boxes in there for? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I raise worms. But we don't want housefly maggots in there. They're not beneficial to us, and they're really annoying when they turn into flies. So, but that is my worm bins, and like I said, I just thought I would share, thinking that somebody could find them useful and how we do them. We don't have any holes in the bottom. This stuff is drier because I put so much on there, but you can see the bottom is, you know, kind of moist and stuff. You see where it's got moisture down in there. worms wiggling around. And then the cardboard, I don't know if you can tell, but, well, this one's not. It's kind of wetter back up in there. See the wet cardboard right there. We don't, like I said, I just kind of took a mister and just misted it down. And then as you add your vegetables or whatever you want to add, I decided mainly vegetable scraps and stuff, leftovers we don't eat, that it'll create its own moisture too. But what I do, and if you couldn't tell in this newer one, all my food scraps until I started moving them around, they were all over. I line them up along the edge right here, and then I just, whenever I fill it up, I just cover it up with some of this dry stuff, you know, to keep houseflies out and to keep the smell down. Like I said, you don't really smell them. Nobody has ever, except my friend one day came over and she had a shower curtain. She's like, "What are them boxes in your shower?" I'm like, "They're my worms." She just thought it was crazy I was raising worms inside. But I wanted to show you finished product after we take it and sift it. It looks like this nice quality dirt. That is finished vermicompost. If I can get my phone to focus. It's amazing stuff. It's supposed to be a really good fertilizer. You can top dress around your plants and stuff. I'm going to use this gallon for when I plant my carrots. I'm just, instead of covering them back up with dirt, I'm just going to throw my carrots down and I'm going to shake some of vermicompost on top of it. But anyways, that's my worm beds. I really hope that someone can find something useful out of these. If you have any questions, leave a comment, and until next time, see y'all later.